Hey there, bibliophiles and those raising bibliophiles. Without ratings and warning labels, knowing which books are appropriate for your children to read is like navigating wild terrain without a map and a compass. I don't know about you, but I have been burned more than once handing my child a book that I thought was clean and appropriate for them to read. I'm a fellow mom, educator, reading specialist, and literary enthusiast trying to find great books for my children and yours to read. So if you're looking for a real review from a mom with a biblical worldview, then welcome and enjoy this week's book review. So this week's book review is Mystery in Rocky Mountain National Park by Aaron Johnson. This is book one in a series that's called the National Park Mystery Series. The main character, Jake, is kind of struggling with the loss of his beloved grandfather. As the story opens, Jake is decoding a cipher that was left by his grandfather that leads to a special scrapbook for his 2-month-long trip visiting various national parks in the United States. Jake quickly figures out that there are more clues to be solved within the scrapbook itself that was left by his grandfather, and that some of these clues directly relate to the different national parks that he's going to visit. His grandfather, before his death, has really planned this entire 2-month trip, leaving all of these various clues. So it's kind of like a scavenger hunt of sorts for Jake to uncover. Now, this story is told, it goes a little bit back and forth. Some parts of it are told in like the 1880 situation that's taking place, which is how the story opens. And then it comes kind of to present time for Jake. So I'm going to read just a little bit of the opening, just to kind of give you an idea of the writing style in this particular book. So chapter 1 is summer 1880, somewhere near Estes Park, Colorado. "Sir, I've got the boy locked up in the tack shed." "Who is he?" asked the older man. "Don't know, sir. Looks about 16, 17 maybe. He don't resemble any of the families in these parts." "What exactly did he see, Ted?" "He seen me burying it down by the creek, sir." The older man looked upset. He pinched the end of his gray mustache and stared at the shed with narrowed eyes. Inside, the boy was frantically searching for a way to escape. He had tried the door, but it was latched from the outside. He turned his attention to the 2 windows which faced west, where a blood-red moon was sinking behind the Rocky Mountains. "I've been here less than 24 hours and already found trouble," he thought to himself as he pulled on the frame of the first window. It wouldn't budge. Must be nailed in place. Through the panes of wavy glass, he could see the 2 men outside just 10 paces from the small barn that held him. He recognized the first man, the one who had locked him up. He wore leather boots, dust-covered denim jeans, and a white shirt and a cowboy hat. The ranch hands who'd chased the boy down had called him boss, but this was the first time he had seen the older man. He was tall and wore a gray woolen suit, the kind he had seen rich gentlemen wear back in the city. The jacket half concealed a dark vest, and a bowler hat covered the man's thinning silver hair. He pulled a pocket watch from his jacket and flipped it open. Its gold surface gleamed in the faded sunlight. Then he drew a thin-framed set of spectacles from the breast pocket of his jacket, put them on, and read the dial. Seeing this, the boy's heart, which was already racing, began to slam against his ribcage. "I don't have much time. They're deciding what to do with me." He pushed on the second window. It slid on the wood track. But by leaving now would be foolish. The men would see him the instant he slipped through the window, and with the horses so close by, the ranch hands would quickly lasso him into the dirt, just as they had done down by the creek. He scanned the walls. They were covered with bridles and saddles and coils of weathered gray rope. He looked up into the rafters, and the idea came to him in a flash. While the men looked away, he gently slid the window frame along the track until it was open. He bent down and furiously untied his right boot, then scraped its mud-caked sole along the white paint of the windowsill. He put the boot back on, climbed into the rafters, and lay down. There he would wait. And from there, then the story opens to present day in Ohio, and we have Jake sort of preparing to leave for his adventures in these different parks. So Jake's family, though, is not entirely alone on this trip. Wes, Jake's cousin, and his family are also going to sort of attend this adventure. They're all meeting at Rocky Mountain. Amber and her family, who are like family friends of Jake's parents, are also attending. So at first, kind of desiring to keep the scrapbook and the clues kind of a secret, Jake eventually does relent and share everything with Wes and Amber, who are excited to help him uncover and really discover all the clues, which make up really the entirety of book one. So we have all of the starting of the series. We have the characters all getting into place, looking for some of these clues as well. After Jake really shares everything with Wes and Amber, they really work together through the whole of the first book, trying to uncover all the different clues that the grandfather has left. And they really exhaust and finish out everything that's there. They didn't know if they'd be able to do it in time, but of course they do. And they are ready and they're armed with their next clues for the next national park that they're going to go to. There is more going on, though, than Jake fully knows. The reader knows a little bit more, just like I was opening with reading a little bit from the first chapter, where we're back in time in 1880. The main character that was trapped there is Abe. He's really kind of gotten himself into some trouble here. He does also himself uncover sort of a mystery himself with some silver arrowheads. And readers are going to learn by the end of book one that Abe is actually Jake's great-great-grandfather. And they do uncover a journal at the end, which is kind of their last thing in this park, and that journal actually belonged to Abe. Additionally, whatever secrets are kind of hidden by Jake's ancestor Abe and the knowledge that's now been entrusted to him, it has made him vulnerable. There are people who are now after him for the knowledge that he has, and he does manage to get away from them in book one, but it's clear that these kind of nefarious characters are going to be coming back, trying to figure out and stop Jake and his friends from all the things that they are uncovering or trying to get that knowledge for themselves. If you go to my website at holdingsteadfastreaders.com, you're going to get a few more details that are not here in this particular video. So I do encourage you to go and check that out, holdingsteadfastreaders.com. Parents are ultimately going to be delighted that this particular book is truly perfect for if you've got readers kind of 8 and up who are ready for some more books that have more chapter books with a little more detail and something that they like, adventure and mystery. There isn't anything inappropriate in this book. There also aren't any scenes that are, to me, scary for young readers. Sometimes that can be a barrier for some books if some things are just a little bit on the scary side, depending on the sensitivity of your reader. But there's none of that in this book. There might be some tension in the book, but nothing that I would categorize as scary. This would also make a great family reader aloud. So if you're looking for something to read aloud as a family, maybe after dinner or before bed, I would definitely encourage you to kind of check out book one in this series. Also, if you have readers who love the outdoors, maybe they're part of a scouting group like American Heritage Girls or Trail Life, I think some of the outdoorsy stuff on the camping in the park, and as they're trying to navigate with the compass and the map and the orienteering and some of that adventure stuff would definitely kind of capture some of their imagination. Also, some of them might be able to relate to some of the things in the book just from their experiences in those groups. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I look forward to reading the additional ones in the series and providing that information to you as a parent. I hope that's helpful if you're looking for a new book series or something of interest that has adventure and mystery that's appropriate for some younger readers, definitely elementary readers. I would encourage you to check out this book, National Park Mystery Series, this book one, Mystery in the Rocky Mountain National Park. And I hope you will join me next week for another book review.